Hello, beautiful souls. Happy Samhain. It's a beautiful time to pay homage to the ancestors, and so in this video I am going to go through a ritual to do just that, to pay homage to our ancestors, to give gratitude to the earth, and to have a deeper connection to ourselves. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi and welcome to Oaklaw Door. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you. Those that are new for the first time, welcome in. So as I said in the intro, it's Samhain and it's a beautiful time just before we go into the winter months of that deep introspection, to pay homage, to connect. It's what is believed to be the time within the wheel of seasons when the veil is at its thinnest and we can gain that deep connection. I don't know about you, but over the past few years, the connection, the ability to connect, and that veil there's been a definite habitual thinning of the veil between the realms. And whilst that is beautiful, there also has to be some kind of cautionary in there, because we are still in the cleanup phase of our ascension. And when I talk about cleanup, I'm talking about things that we have manifested, humanity has manifested over the centuries, that in the time that we have existed on the planet, and as we have been growing, learning and evolving, and that's what we're still cleaning that up. And so yes, protection is still needed. Do we need it in the same way that it was needed 15 years ago? No, but that protection is still needed. And I'm actually going to share one of my rituals that I've done and I've actually wrote about. And so first of all, what I'm actually going to do is give you the list of all the things that you can get to do this ritual, the things that are needed, and then I'm going to go through the ritual with you guys, and at any point throughout the video you can pause it, do what you need to do, and then you can restart it again. It is a beautiful ritual. It embraces and honors the ancestors. It brings a lot of gratitude in, and it pays homage to the land and to the ancestors and to the work that we've been doing ourselves. Let's not forget ourselves. The championing ourselves is really important as well. So to give ourselves a pat on the back for all the hard work that we've actually done, for the changes that we have made, and to give us the motivation to continue the changes that still need to be done. So the materials that I like to use is, I like to have a small pumpkin. This is what I do to make my altar. Small pumpkin, 3 candles, a white candle, a black candle and an orange candle, obviously lighter and matches, a small bowl of salt, a photo of past loved ones, incense or dried herbs. I like to use sage and frankincense. I like to use the two of them, and your journal and pen. And you just find yourself a quiet space where you're not going to be disturbed preferably out on the land if you can. Depends on where you live in the world and whether you're brave enough to take on the elements, depending on what the weather's like. And when I'm out on the land, I just like to take, I've got like a little altar sheet that I just put down on the ground, and I just take a little cushion and I sit myself down on the ground. But you can have a table, you could use a log if you found a log that you felt was appropriate. Listen to your intuition, listen to how your team, your connection to the divine is guiding you as to where and what you use. And then I open up and I start by lighting the white candle. And the white candle symbolizes the purity of spirit. And I say, ancestors of love and light, I welcome you to this sacred space. Guide and protect me as I honor your wisdom and love. And then I take my pumpkin and I place that on my altar as a symbol of the harvest. Now, you may be guided to take along a little corn dolly if you've made a little corn dolly, or you may be guided to take something else that symbolizes that harvest, that abundance of what you've attained in the year past. Because remember, Samhuinn is the change in the calendar. It's the end of one year and the start of the new Celtic year. Then we light the black candle, and the black candle is and represents the spirit world. And so to those who have passed beyond the veil, I honor your memory. May your wisdom continue to guide me. I like to sit in that energy for a little while, because sometimes, very often, messages can come through instantly just by looking at the photo of a past loved one. There's a reconnect or a deepening of the connection that usually takes place in those moments. And that's when I would light the black candle. Light that black candle. Honor those ancestors. And sit in that energy for however long you need to. And you may not get a message, you may just get a feeling, or you may get a sensation. I know when I've done this in the past, I've had a hug, and that has been beautiful. I end up crying, obviously, because that's what I do when when such beauty comes forward and you think, really? Some people may not like that. They may be uncomfortable with that. It's about doing what's right for you. And then you take the orange light, and the orange candle symbolizes the transformation that we're wanting to achieve, and also honoring the transformation, the transition from the old year into the new year. And I would say something like, spirits of wisdom, I seek your guidance. Grant me insight and clarity as I journey through this sacred night. And again, I sit with that and I see what comes through. However long you want to take with this ritual is a very personal thing. And then what I actually do is I light the incense or the sage, the herbs. And I would say, with this smoke, I release what no longer serves me. May the winds of change carry away my burdens. And just close your eyes at this point and just allow anything that has been playing on your mind, any worries, concerns, any fears, just allow them, imagine them floating away with that smoke on the winds. And once you've done all that, watch the flames of the candles on all 3 candles. Look into the flames, and some of you might find that you will start scrying from the candle flame. Some of you may just get a sensation that you're not alone. Some of you may hear something. Some of you may cognitively sense something, know something, or you may feel something. It will completely depend on the clairs that you use. And just write whatever comes through in your journals. Just journey. So some of you may do some auto writing. You may sit there and you may be looking into the flames of the candles, and you may just start scribbling away. And it isn't until afterwards, when you've stopped, then you read back and you're like, wow. Very often auto writing is very, very powerful. If you actually fall into that space where you just start scribbling, and basically auto writing means that you have just become a channel for the divine energies that you're connecting to come through. And it can be about a global aspect, it could be about a personal aspect. Just allow it to flow. And then when I finished, I would just I like to do a prayer. I stopped there because I'm reminding myself from the book, because when I'm doing it, I tend to kind of just go into the zone and I allow myself to be guided by my guides. And when I wrote the book, I wrote the book from old experiences. So I do need to check, because those experiences change every time. I change it every time. And that's why I say it's really important to listen to your own intuition, listen to your own little whispers of what needs to be done, because this is not fixed. This is just an idea. It's allowing, because I will very often say a prayer, or I will very often be given a verse of a poem that I then say out loud. And that's why I was checking there, because I was like, oh, I haven't put that in, but it's not for everybody. That is very personal to me, which is why I didn't put it in, and I had to remind myself of that then. But what you would actually do is you would extinguish the candles in the reverse that they were lit. So you would extinguish the orange, then the black, then the white, and give thanks, give gratitude. So you could say something like, thank you, spirits, for your presence and guidance. Until we meet again, blessed be. And it can be that simple. Or, as I said, I tend to get given a verse that usually honours the land as well in some way, shape or form. I usually get a poetic verse that I'm actually given, and so I say that. There have been times where I've been called to sing, and for those of you that know me, I'm not the greatest singer, but I've been called to sing, and so I use my voice and I sing. Once you've done that, I would still stay in that introspective space and ask yourself some questions about what and how it felt to you. What came through? What did it mean? What does the thinning of the veil mean to you? What does it represent for you? Because when we start to ask those types of questions, that's when we start to tap into our past life experiences, because you will come up with some very strange things. And it doesn't matter, just write it down. I say that because in my other journal, and it was interesting, I was kind of looking through that, and I've got, although I've kind of got different bits and pieces there, I wrote, this is from a dream from when I was doing some work, and and I've got one here, and I have to look it up again because I know what this was for. This was for a recipe for healing, to make a healing smudge of a project I was working on, and I connected with a guide that was a herbalist, and they gave me Yerba Santa, mugwort and rosemary, and I didn't have a clue what Yerba Santa was, and I still don't. I've forgotten. I did it at the time. I remember looking it up and thinking, oh right, it does actually exist, because I'd never heard of it. I didn't know it existed. And this is why it's important just to write down what you're given, even if you're not sure whether it actually exists, because you will find, and what I found over the years is I've been given names of places, and then I've looked on the map and I'm kind of like, I can't see that then. And I'm thinking of one specifically that is in New Mexico, and what I was given was the old Native American name for that place. And it wasn't until I reached out to a Native American tribe wiseman that they then said, oh yes, that was what that was called. And so then I was able to kind of pin it on the map. It did exist. For all intents and purposes, it was like a whoosh. I was kind of like, really, is this? And I even down to the point that you can say to your guides, okay, how do I spell that? Because sometimes that can be really important, especially if you're not terribly clairaudient. I don't always hear things properly, and a lot of that is because of this life as well, where there is a level of deafness there. And so I get shown the letters in my mind's eye. Work to your strengths. Don't dismiss the information that you get given. And if you need clarity, don't be afraid to ask for the clarity. In my experience, at everything that you get given, the answer and the understanding does come along, whether it be in a week's time, in a month's time, in a year's time, in 10 years' time. And that's why it's important to write it down and date it and put some contacts with it, so you actually will understand it when you are ready. Because sometimes when we do deep meditations, when we connect, they give you little glimpses, but you may not yet be in the space or place to actually fully embody the energies of what those glimpses are showing you. There may be a little bit more healing that you do, or there may be somebody in your life that it's not safe for you to have that information at the moment, and that will only start to come forward once you've started having more discernment with the people that you mix with. There's a million different paradigms that can be playing out, and it's allowing them to play out, but also trusting yourselves. Samhain is a very, very special time within the Celtic calendar. And yes, I know, we know it's kind of been taken over with Halloween, and everybody likes to get dressed up and party. I implore each and every one of you to spend at least 10 minutes. If you don't want to do a ritual, if it doesn't feel right to do a ritual, fine. It doesn't feel right. Honor what feels right for you, but spend at least 10 minutes within that 24-hour window to sit quietly with yourself and allow the flow of energies. Open yourself up to the flow of energies that are wanting to come forward to assist you as we move into this new year, this new evolving year. I hope that's helped. If you've liked the video, then press the like button. If you've not yet subscribed, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified as new videos go up. Happy Samhuinn. Take care. Oh, I forgot to say, the book's available in paperback or hardback. They're on Amazon. I'll leave the link below, and it goes through the whole calendar wheel, and it gives you rituals and inspirations, and there's space for journaling within each of them. So take care.